Janie had gone to Mass. They were bringing me communion at the house. I leave a note. I tell my sister, bring me to the hospital. The hospital? What do you want to go to the hospital for now? Look at this. There's a red line going up my arm. Guess what day this is in New Orleans? Mardi Gras. They got every drunk that fell down and busted his head in the waiting room. I bumped this car and the whole room's like all filled with all these people that are all like, I don't know, man. My wife got out there, she hit me with something in the head, and I'm laying there in my arms like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I got a cat bite. My little cat weighs less than 8 pounds, you know. So they come in and they said, okay, we're going to give you this intravenous thing, and we're trying to get a hold of a doctor. Well, it's Mardi Gras. They're trying to get a hold of a doctor. So I'm waiting. Well, look, here's what we're going to do. We give you a couple hours of antibiotics, go home, and I'm putting a pen line on your arm. If it moves any further from that, come back. Otherwise, here's a doctor. He's going to see you Monday, because you're going to have to go see a hand specialist, because the hand's kind of complicated, and that cat bit you right in that vein right there and right in that vein right there, and you're going to have to go, and cats have something in their mouth that's real nasty. So, I mean, if they can eat a rat, can't be too good for us, you know. So, anyway, I go home, I get undressed, I get my pajamas back, and this is a big ordeal because I still got, you know, my hips all blown. I mean, this hip was so swollen. I mean, I could, like, put my deodorant on and just set it right there. You know? It was like a shelf, you know. So I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, by the time I that thing's like up to here. So I said, y'all got to bring me back. Well, now they're whizzing all around, and I find out I'm going to race for my life because it's entered my bloodstream, and if it gets to my heart, so then they're calling around, and they said, we located the doctor, and you'll be going up pretty soon for surgery, and we're waiting, and they came back, and I said, well, where's the doctor? What's the matter? You don't have the room or something? They said, well, your Blue Cross, is it a PPO or an HMO? Well, you see, the doctor we got, he doesn't like the PPE, and you got an HMO. I hope when they get up there, I hope St. Peter says, oh, come on in. You know, you're a doctor. You did wonderful things. Come on in, but you can only stay 3 days, you know. You know. So, anyway, they finally, now it's a rush. They got to operate on my hand. And a guy comes in, and he looks at me, and he goes, you do a lot with WLAE on TV, and that's the local affiliate that we air on right there. And I look at him, but I'm kind of like drowsy because they're getting ready to operate on me, and I go, yeah. And he said, what? I'm going to try to wait as long as I can. He gave me some more antibiotics. And he said, I'm going to try to do this operation as late in the day as I can, so I'll probably come back around 5:30 and do it, because that way you'll get so many more hours of antibiotics. By the time he got back, my hand, and Janie was on the phone calling everybody, oh, you can't believe it. No, it's in a race for her life. And she's got every prayer warrior, and I'm on every prayer line, and it's going on, a cat bit her. What happened to her? I just thought she busted her hip. It's like Job. It's like, she... Jesus is ticked off at her. So, anyway, the doctor comes. When he comes in, he says, you might know my mother. My mother's Carolyn Blum, and she started this program. She thought of it called, it's the Ignatius Way to Pray, and it's called Lord, Teach Me to Pray. And we did the first television program with her, and Janie was taking the course. And he said, my mother knows you. And I told her about you, and everybody's been praying. Now, if that other doctor, who didn't want to take the PPO for the HMO, wouldn't have got me, would have came, I wouldn't have got the prayers. Jesus, I trust in you. It looked like he was doing nothing. This thing was swelling up, and they don't want the PPO with the HMO, but he had a plan. He did have a plan. I get out of the hospital. I get back. Now I'm going to work like this. Now I'm going to therapy like this. What happened to you now? Yeah, the cat bit me. You still talking? You still, that miracle happened, huh? Now, you know, that's the sad thing. You see, the miracle happened, but I guess if it would have been this late, people would have said, I don't know if that miracle really happened. You see, trust. Do we really trust? Do we really trust?